Hi everyone, Deez from Turtle Dove. How's everyone doing today? Well, I'm here just to a little bit of a show and tell of my recent resin projects that I had made. There's some hits and some misses, so I've got a lot to learn. So these are my first resin projects I've done. A few years back I did make a couple of little pendants, but that's about it. Yeah, so I'm getting back into it and it's really fun. Resin is very expensive though here, epoxy resin. I used this, what is it, 2-part craft resin from Anko. Bought that from Kmart, so I think this is a fairly cheap resin. This is, now how many mils? This was about $12. Part A 100 ml, part B 50. So yeah, 100 ml resin. So I went through about, I think, 3 boxes doing all this. So it's not cheap, but just to start with, I wanted to use the cheaper resin. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just it's not, the clear isn't as crystal clear as some of the ones I've seen on YouTube. So I'm sure you can get some very, very good quality resin out there, especially if you're right into it. And there's some beautiful, amazing works on YouTube from some creators and what they make out there. But I'm going to start with this skull. I think that turned out really nicely, and I can put this out, I should say, for Halloween. But even with this one, I made some mistakes. You can see the black under there, so I didn't quite put enough mica powder on the mould. And then I used gold for around his face, and then the chameleon green gold for the rest of the skull. You can just see there. But I mean, it's still fine. And also I have a bit of glitter, a tiny little glitter sequin there that fell in there from a previous project, so you've got to be very careful. But overall, it's not too bad. And another thing, I did 2 mixes with all these projects, different mixes with the black. One turned out, the other one is still a little bit sticky. And I don't know if that's because I didn't put enough hardener in there. I mean, I followed the instructions. Or maybe because it's winter here in Australia, it's just taking a lot longer to cure. But yeah, this is almost, I don't know, 1.5 weeks, maybe 2 weeks ago I did these. So if you want to watch an unmoulding of a few of these, I did that over on my ASMR channel, only because I've watched unmouldings before and they sound really nice, but didn't really make a lot of sounds on that video, unmoulding, as I was expecting, but never mind. But I'm really happy with him. Now I'm going to put that there. Okay, now, seeing as we're on skulls, this one here is one that actually I'm really happy with, other than I didn't fill the mould quite up, and there's a little bit of it's like a little bowl. So I need to get some sandpaper or something and just sand that down flat. But I love how this one turned out. This one's a little bit smaller, you can see. I put the miniature lollipops on the top of his skull. Well, this one might be a girl, who knows. But you can see those blue purple flashes. I used a new product that I bought. It looks like fairy floss actually, I forget what it's called, but it's so nice. I just cut it up real fine and just placed a few in there. So I did this section first, then when that was dry I put more of the clear resin in, and then lastly then I put some gold foil or holographic foil. Once that was dry, the second lot, and then finish it off with the pink. But if you look from the top of the skull, you can see that foil down there. So I just love how if you hold it different ways, you can see different things. See that? It's beautiful. I'm going to make one with nothing but those little blue fairy floss hairy things. Forget what it's called. What is it? I'll just see if I can find it so I can show you. Put him there or her there. Okay, I finally found it. I really need to reorganise this craft room since I've been getting into a couple more hobbies. It's just filling up with stuff and not a lot of places to put it. But these I bought from Over the Rainbow, a business here in Australia, and it's called Fantasy Fibre, and it just looks like fairy floss. See how fine that is? I won't open it because it just flies everywhere, but you can get that in various colours, and this is called Fairy Lights. So pretty. So what I did was I grabbed some and then cut it up. You've just got to be careful because it clumps up if you push it together too much, and then yeah, but that is a really nice product. So that's how I got that beautiful sheets of little blue purple. Okay, so that's that. Now onto the other skull. Now this was actually a mould, I think more for soap and other things. It wasn't specifically for epoxy resin. I'm not sure if you can use any type of silicone mould for epoxy resin. It may well be for that as well. But I did this skull. I made this just with leftover resin from the other project. So just while I'm on the skulls, I thought I would show you. And it's got the front and the back. Don't really like the back. I tried to cut away some of that lip and didn't do a good job. But I will keep this for maybe a Halloween project in the future. It's flat backed, so I can stick it on a box or anything. And that's just the black resin with the glitter, gold glitter through it. And that's more matte because of the mould. So that's that one, and I'm quite happy with how the front of that skeleton turned out as well. Okay, so next I'll show you the Snowflake. Now I'm happy with it, but I'm not completely happy with all of it. Overall, it's not bad. I have to remember that it's my first time really playing around with a lot of this, and I'm not sure how, I've got to learn how everything reacts to the epoxy and where I should place things. So that background there, right at the bottom, didn't really turn out so nicely, and I used the white resin for the background of this one. See, now even this is bending, and yet the rest is hard, so I'm not sure about that. It could be that resin that's cheap, I don't know. Okay, and now I made a couple of I've got some jewellery hardware, and I thought I would put a sheet of that specific plastic that you use for this instance on there. It's sticky, and that way the resin doesn't run out. It did run out a little bit on one of them, but I put the fantasy film, which is from Over the Rainbow, again where I bought that fibre, and you heat that up and you can crinkle it and cut it up, and you get beautiful colours from it. So that's how I did this one, and I did the black background first, put that fantasy film on, and then finished off with a clear coat of resin. But you could also do it the opposite way round if you want that domed effect. So it probably would have looked better doing it that way, but anyway, that's still pretty. You can make these earrings or pendants. Make 2 separate pendants. Put a little chain around that. And then I made this big one. It's got a hole at the top there. And I'll put some sequins in with that as well. Actually, there is none of that fantasy film in this one. This is just sequins and glitter. But on the black background, it really shows up all the colours. I love it. And then I've got a little heart mould, so that'll make a nice pendant, and I used the fantasy film on this one. You can see gold and blues and pinks, so that's pretty. Then I have some alpha moulds, and I made these cute little, I might make these into keychains, one for my daughter, one for me, and they have the little miniature lollipops inside there. The pink background with the clear top, and then there's just a little bit of some crushed foil, coloured foil in those ones. And again, I'm not quite filling them up enough, but it's so easy to overfill them as well. Then you get the problem of what happened to this one. This one I overfilled and was 2 or 3 mil out, and I just cut the excess off, but I didn't do a good job. I've still got to, you can see it's all not very straight. I've got to sand that down, but this is a bookmark. So I've got the mint background with some glitter and foil on top of the clear. So once I get that straight, that'll be good. And this one's quite hard, it cured properly. Tends to be the one when I use the black resin that are still soft. I'll show you on this one. This is another bookmark. But see how it's bending? It just doesn't want to cure. And this fantasy film that I've used in here is sort of poking out at the back, so it's probably not a good idea to scrunch that up. But it did turn out nice if you have a look closely. It's about 2 different colours in that one. So I can put a tassel on those. And then this is the 3rd one I made, and this is that same film but not cut up. It is scrunched up, but it's not cut up. So that's what it looks like. It's beautiful. Beautiful colours. But I had trouble with that floating up to the top of the resin as well. But then the back of that one turned out a little better, but again, it's still just slightly sticky. It's not curing very well. And now, these turned out really nice, other than underneath, these are fish, koi fish. Underneath, it's still quite sticky. But what I did with the micro powder, I'm just really happy with the colours. So that's that one. And I'm just keeping these upside down until I'm hoping that they're going to cure. If not, I might be able to put some varnish or something on it, I'm not sure. But this one is really nice too. It's more purple and golds. And I tried to make the head a little bit clear or transparent so that you can see the glitter inside. So I added some of that, and yeah, you can see here and there some of the glitter. Turned out really nice, I love it. And then there's a blue tone. Again, I try to keep the head transparent somewhat so that you can see some of the little glitter sequins that I've placed in there. You can just see some of the glitter over here as well. So yeah, really, really fun to do. And this one didn't turn out at all. This, I think, is more of a fondant mould, but it's a mermaid. And again, just finishing off with that black resin, it's still sticky. I overfilled the hand, so that looks like she's holding a black rock maybe. But I love this colour mica powder. And yeah, again, because this is sticky at the back, I ruined the front of the tail because that was, I think, because it's soft still, it was making the mica powder come off. So I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong, but I've got lots to learn. And with the remaining of all the resin, because I made some more letters which turned out, this is the powder from Kmart, didn't quite cover all of it, and I'm not sure if I can use that to paint the moulds, or you're meant to just mix that in with the resin. So yeah, I've got lots and lots to learn, lots to experiment. There's an R, and then an L, then that's pink, a J and an I. Oh, I've got to show you another pumpkin that I've made too, but that's already sitting in my dining room, and that one actually that one was a hit. So I just made all of these different pendants. You can add beads to. These ones can be earrings. This is the front, but I actually like the back. That's what I was working with. So I got a surprise when I unmoulded these, and they turned out completely different underneath. So that's what I mean by I have to learn how all these resins are working with different colours. I mean, look at that. That would look nice if that was the front. But that's supposed to be the front, so yeah. And then I've got all these little shapes here that you could stick on the other pendants if you wanted. Now I'm just going to go and get that pumpkin because I really want to show that one to you. Okay, here's the pumpkin. Isn't it beautiful? And I didn't place the mica powder in the middle area other than in the crease because I wanted to be able to see all the glitter inside. It's a little bit transparent. Don't know if the camera will pick that up, but and this, all this glitter from the mica powder sunk underneath because the mould obviously is this way, and you can just see the difference. This is what I thought you would be able to see. I don't know why I thought that actually, because being upside down, that is how you're meant to see it the right way up. It would be like that. But I did think that it's going to be like the top all the way through. But yeah, all those metallics do sink in the mould, which will be the top of the mould most times. So I'm really, really happy with this one. This is one of my favourites too. So anyway, that's it. Just thought I'd share my projects with you. I'm ready to make some more. This mould is for dice. It can hold 7 dice, like a dice box, or I don't know what you'd call it, container. So there's 2 pieces that stack up on each other. So that's the next thing I'll be making. And I'll probably make another pumpkin because I want a set of 3. I'd like a large, small and medium actually. It would look nice together. But anyway, overall I'm happy. I've got lots to learn, but I'll keep practicing and hopefully I'll get better. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Let me know what you think. If you have any tips, let me know as well with resin, especially why this black resin hasn't really cured properly. Take care and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.